Доброго дня.
Good afternoon. Now the floor is given to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon. Now the information about the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. In Lugansk area, the militants actively use mortars of 82 and 120 mm of caliber near Novozvanivka, Alexandrovka, and Stary Aidar. The majority of the shellings were from 2 to 8 mines, and they can be launched by mobile systems. They are called wandering mortars, and this tactics is used to provoke escalation of the conflict, and in such a way they shell the positions of ATO and frontline area of occupied territories. And also there were different types of large caliber and grenade launchers used, and armed provocation was near Lepasna village. In Lugansk area there were 9 shellings delivered by the militants, including 7 mortar shellings, heavy weapons. In Donetsk area, the hottest area was Avdiivka production area in the region of Zaitsevo. In the course of military actions near Avdiivka, the militants delivered 1 artillery shelling, and 4 times they fired with the mortars, and also they used grenade launchers of different modifications. Also, the situation is tense near Pisky, Opatna. There the militants used APCs and mortars, and also 1 more mortar shelling was observed near Butovka mine. Near Zaitsevo, the militants opened fire both during the day and at night. The militants used grenade launchers, large caliber machine guns, small arms, and in the evening they used APCs and mortars. At the same time, the number of shellings near Lugansk village that is at Svetlodarsk Bulge decreased, and heavy weapons was not used in this area. In the south of Donetsk, the militants used mortars at night, and near the village Nevelske and near Krasnogorivka, the militants fired with the use of anti-aircraft weapon. In Donetsk area, there were 31 enemy shelling, 11 with the use of heavy weapons. In Mariupol area, the shelling of the militants continue near Shirokino. The situation is tense there. During the last 24 hours, the Russian occupation forces fired with different types of weapons except artillery and missile systems. And artillery was used near Pavlopol and Vodyane, but due to the well-equipped position and experience of our servicemen, no one was wounded. And the militants actively used mortars near Marienka, Granitna, Grudovka, and Talakivka, and also near Marienka and Novotroitska, the enemy used APCs. And in Mariupol area, there were 37 shellings, and in 14 of them, the enemy used heavy weapons. Also at the same area, Ukrainian servicemen observed 2 flights of enemy drones. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 3 were wounded. It happened in Mariupol area because of enemy shellings. And also there is verified data about 15 of July. 2 servicemen were shell-shocked near Marienka, and both of them are in Kurakhova town hospital, and the condition of their health is satisfactory. Losses of the enemy: 2 militants killed, 3 wounded. This losses were sustained by 7th Brigade, 3rd Brigade, and 9th Regiment of Russian occupation forces. Also, we know personal data of one of the militants. This is the commander of Howitzers artillery battery from so-called 3rd Detached Motorized Brigade, 33-year-old Oleksandr Vikhlyaev. According to the information of Chief Intelligence Department of MOD, Russia sent reinforcement for the militants. 3 railway tanks of fuel and lubricants were brought to Rovinky, and 5 APCs were brought to Snizhne. Troubles continue among the militants. The militants of so-called 3rd Brigade that are at the frontline positions expressed their dissatisfaction with the regular money that they have to provide money to their commanders for representative expenses, 3,000 Russian ruble each month. The commanders deprived them from hot food and threatens to extend their service at the frontline positions. And on the 15th of July, the militants of 7th Brigade refused to contribute money for the treatment of their counterparts, and the majority of these militants didn't agree to provide money to bury their former commander, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, and they were deprived of their bonuses for the participation in military actions. We remind that this Russian colonel died 2 weeks ago near Kharkiv, and before his death he had serious conflict with his commanders and subordinates. And lastly, Lysychansky City Court released from criminal responsibility a former militant of LPR. She used the program of SBU, They Wait for You Back Home. The SBU confirmed that this woman didn't commit any heavy crimes, and the former militant got information about this program in June this year from local media and addressed for help to the law enforcement officers. So this is all for today. Do you have questions or comments? No? Thank you.